So here's my definition of addiction. Any repeated behavior that infects your life until it's not a life anymore. It's just addiction. The biggest problem with addiction is not the act of consuming, be it drugs, food, or alcohol. No, that is just a vehicle. The real problem is feeding this fantasy that you have this imaginary refuge in which you can hide every time you don't want to deal with something, that you can pause reality. And that is what buries you deeper, because it's illusional, and it easily becomes a vicious cycle. You consume, but then you face reality, and when you come back tired, you consume some more, and then you go back to reality again. But this time, you have the anxiety of facing reality plus the feelings of withdrawal. So you consume some more, complaining that your life is difficult, and then keep consuming until you aren't able to care for anything else, until your life doesn't feel good anymore, until it's just you consuming and feeling hungry, until your life isn't a life anymore, just this unfertile, finite cycle. And that is the problem with addictions. It robs you of a wealthy life of experiences. It makes you believe that you are crippled without it, living just this addiction that doesn't even feel good anymore. But you are so used to doing it that you forgot how to do anything else. And this is what causes you to be depressed. If the result of all your efforts is you eating, smoking, or drinking like any other day, then of course you don't have motivation. Of course you don't feel like life isn't worth living. It really isn't. Yours, that is. And you design it to be that way through addiction. Like I explained in my previous video, motivation comes when you are connected with the future you want, and that is based on the experiences you have right now. If all you do is work and then go back to your addictions, then of course at some point your imagination just starts dying and you lose all motivation. That's why the previous step of this guide was to go out into nature, exercise, sleep. It was all to stimulate your brain into imagining better future, so it could connect you to a fertile future and make you take a different path from depression. And addictions are one of the things that stop that. They bring back the version of you at its weakest, that just hides in any corner and picks whatever feels good, a slave to the urges and not the person that can make choices. And this worsens your anxiety because all you have to depend on is that person. So quitting addictions isn't just about having a healthier life, it's about you moving away from that person, that behavior sequence, deciding that there is more to life and you will go after it, starving the side of you that made your life miserable and bringing out a new one that will fight, protect, and grow whatever your dreams are. That is the untold story of anyone who quits their addictions. It's accepting the bitterness of life to experience new paths. Hi, I hope this video is helping you. If you don't understand something, please comment down below and I will answer. Like and subscribe because it helps me. And if you don't want to spend time watching my videos, go take a look at my ebook. The link is in the description. Now back to the video. But of course, this isn't easy. Most people with addictions don't have the capacity to make this decision. Worse if you are depressed. Your mind isn't really working properly. That's why I say to start small and build up. And one addiction that should be taken care of first is one that is legal and it messes your life up. And that is sugar and alcohol. They both do the same. They spike your sugar levels momentarily and then drop down suddenly, making it quite easy to become addicted to. And since they are both legal, it's easy to get them and stay addicted. So I'll give you 3 arguments to stop that right now. So the first argument is it makes you dumber. We all know alcohol kills brain cells, but sugar does the same too. And there is for certainty a point where you become dumb enough that there's no going back. And let's face it, if you don't know, you can just learn. But if you are stupid, there's nothing to do about it. You just do mistakes, suffer the consequences, and then forget about them and commit the same mistakes again. And that will be your life if you don't manage this addiction. Another reason why you should stop consuming sugar and alcohol is that it makes you lonely. If you are inducing these states constantly, your brain stops knowing when it should feel something, which emotion to trigger, and this impacts your social life severely. Because if you are the only one who doesn't feel, then you don't feel connected to those people, making yourself feel isolated and lonely, throwing you onto deeper and worse addictions, placing you farther and farther from a normal social life. And the final reason is it worsens your depression. If your mood is always up and down, then your depression comes in and shuts down your ability to feel just to maintain a degree of stability, making you become depressed without even knowing why. And not just that, they keep you away from experiencing the person I talked about before, the person who gets you out of addiction. So this is a great point to start to become acclimatized to being addiction free and get your life moving. And there's two things that help you with that. One of these is actually fruit. I'm not joking, this works very well because many times when you crave something, you are just hungry. But since you gave in to addiction so much, that is a response your body learned to give. It doesn't ask for the right thing, it asks for the thing that is used to getting the most, even if that thing isn't the right one. And fruit is a great way to correct that behavior. It's portable, it's cheap, it satiates your need for sugar without spiking your sugar levels, and it has fiber, so it helps you get fitter. This also works for quitting smoking. Ex-smoker here. I must have eaten 50 apples in 2 days when I quit. But it's a good way for you to go from unhealthy to healthy with one habit. And the other solution is tea, more specifically black and green tea, the ones with caffeine. But one difference with teas is that they don't behave as other addictive substances, meaning the withdrawal symptoms aren't that sudden and steep. It's a slower and smoother process to the point that you don't even remember to consume it. So you just quit cold turkey without knowing it. And this introduces your body to a new relationship with substance, where you become acquainted with the winning process, helping you letting go of the addictions more easily. And by solving these two addictions, you become able to move on to other things that impact your life and reorganize it in a way that serves you. Changing the story of you having something that helps you and then not having it, always believing that you don't have a life without that crutch, to a life where you slowly get up and walk with your own 2 feet, with your own strength and by your own decisions, allowing you to experience something that you didn't have in your life. True power. And I will continue this on the next video, so subscribe and I will see you next week.